You all please rise and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Ready for roll call, please?
Jerry Lincoln.
Scott McVeigh.
Beverly Fickus. Pam Beaver.
Dale Mancino.
Jim Wadley.
Emily King.
Trainer Light.
And Director Johnson is a little late. Okay, open time. Anybody have anything they want to say during open time? This is a chance to thank us, berate us. Anything you want. Nope?
Well,
I'm gonna let these
Yeah.
folks come in first. Welcome. This is open time where any member of the public can address the board. If you so wish, here's your chance. Dennis, do you have an update on Firewise you could give us?
Sure.
I'd appreciate it.
Dennis, Forsyth. Firewise have been doing some defensible space for seniors. And we have a small amount of funding, but so far we've probably helped out a dozen different seniors, and the dollars we've spent varies up to $1,000 per home. And then April 23rd will be a meeting, Firewise meeting.
October
The last
23rd?
one for the,
October 23rd?
yeah, my birthday.
Can I ask, are we now going to online submitting our hours, or we still have forms?
You can come to the meeting and drop off your worksheet that shows the hours you spent doing fire prevention, and it helps us get certified.
Are there forms available at Bonnie's or any place?
Excuse me.
Are those forms available at Bonnie's or?
Yeah, you can stop at Bonnie Burgers and pick them up and drop them off at Bonnie Burgers, or you can give it to one of our Firewise staff.
Thank you. Right. We're gonna give Director Johnson about 10 seconds to get himself seated. Move on to the consent agenda. Anybody have any corrections, comments on any of the items? The bills, let's start with the minutes, and then the bills paid.
I have one correction on the August 20th minutes. So Emily on number 3, it was Director Fickus and not Director Beaver.
Okay.
All right. In the packet, we have, anybody else, I'm sorry. In the packet, we have activity reports for May, June, July, and August. Included in there is, and I'm not, it's not on the agenda, is the budget to actuals for the last fiscal year. I'd like to pull those out and have those taken to the finance committee meeting next week for review prior to presenting back to the full board, if that's okay with the rest of the board members.
Yes, that's what I would like anyways.
Yes.
Okay, sounds like it's good, all right.
But I did have some questions on the May, June, and July though. Can we?
You want to do some questions on that?
Yeah.
I have a couple of pages worth, I guess.
Okay. Well,
Go ahead.
I think you could send them to them for corrections, but I had a couple of little ones that, because I don't want to go into the meeting next week and then have all these figures that we might have questions about.
Not a problem.
Okay.
Or we can submit them to them.
I can do that too.
Whichever is your pleasure.
Um,
I've already spoken with David about a number of it. And later in the packet, I want to actually,
Well, Shireen's here, so I would love, so she's here. So if we looked at May's 2025 profit and loss, I was just curious of why up at the top, we're showing domestic water sales at 32 and a negative for agriculture water sales.
Well, what happened that month was, well, why don't you go there?
No, you're good. Oh, well.
No.
What happened that month was there was a bad meter reading.
Yeah.
So
It's
when
caught
that
up in
happened, they didn't credit it until June.
Okay,
So it's gonna show up in June.
it does.
okay.
It's
all right.
almost double in June.
And that was my next question when I got there, so it was, okay. So then, so then I saw that it jumped, so that's why, okay, so that was the reason why, okay. And then, I didn't understand one other thing that was, Centerville, we had June showed Centerville's admin and O&M, but July did not.
Yes.
Because I believe in June, I did all of the invoicing in July for Centerville.
You mean in June?
So it was done late
Let
now.
me see. Was it in June or July?
I think Centerville was high.
I did 3 invoices at once,
Okay,
so
or maybe it was in August, let me see. I think that's what it was, because August, yeah, Centerville is showing 31,000 in August, so I was wondering if that was 2 months
that's
worth.
probably about,
Okay.
it's about 17 something.
Okay,
So they didn't send it to you in a timely manner, and just,
I didn't
Sorry.
bill them because I didn't know how to calculate it when I started.
okay.
okay.
Bottom line on like June's and also July's, when I see such a high figure, and I know we've got, let's page 3 of June's profit and loss. It's difficult because we got the grant money coming in and that grant money going out. So it showed a negative 712,000 and then another negative 644, but yet our income ended up being 778,000. And that's not factual. Is there a way to figure out the actual bottom line if we took those out?
Yeah.
What happened when we received that deposit, it was deposited into the regular bank account and then transferred over to the backwash account. So that's what that, because it was a payment that was supposed to be, we only have checking in the checking account. So it had to come out of the backwash account, go into the checking account and go back.
Okay, because then in July, our net income shows a negative $950,000.
And that's the other grant.
Yeah.
That's two.
Yeah.
There were 2, yeah.
Yeah, I just like to have something simple and easy to look at, and it just isn't.
I did the math.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
And then, that was it for me on that.
Okay. I think most of that, if there's no objection, we'll deal with the finance committee meeting.
Yeah, so on the profit and loss versus actuals, I will send you a list of questions that I had.
Okay.
Because it is so tiny and,
Perfect.
yeah, and then that way we can, hopefully, we were talking about 9 a.m. next Wednesday.
Okay.
If could be there,
Okay.
and
If I
that,
may, we can try to explore other exports so that the viewing is easier, because with the default, there's gotta be a way to make it bigger, because there's so much space. It just
yeah,
doesn't seem right.
I mean, there's so much data that I understand why it's so teeny tiny, but, okay.
One other aspect of the finances that came in was a balance on the accounts. And I noticed that in the budget to actuals, under interest income, we had budgeted 750,000 expected, on $750. Came out over 28,000. I'm pretty sure that's from the sweep account, where if you look at the provided information, we had, as of, what was it, the 11th or something, 583,000 plus in that sweep account. So we're earning some decent interest there. And I also did some math and took a look at all of the various non-restricted accounts so that we could look at what monies we actually had available if we had to spend, and it's a little over 1.2 million. Okay, if you have questions about it, I can show you all my math and everything. Anything else on the consent agenda?
Did you have an issue with the activity?
I have multiple issues.
With the P and L, so you want to
The
pull?
P&Ls and the budget to actuals,
Okay.
which isn't even on the agenda.
Okay, so you want to completely pull that?
I'd like to, if the board agrees, to pull those 4 months out for review with the finance.
With the
committee.
finance.
Okay.
Yes, if that's okay. And if that's okay, I would entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda with that adjustment.
I move that we approve the consent agenda with the motion, and pull out the 4 months for review by the finance committee.
Have a second.
I'll second that.
All right, having a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda, all in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. Moving on to our regular agenda then. And seems like we actually have to let our general manager be assigned the account. So this is to remove Mr. Watley as an authorized signer and to place in Mr. Mancino in that position, which is just, any discussion? No? No? In that case, it's an action item. I would entertain a motion.
Can we see if the public have any questions?
If anybody want to ask about switching out the signers? I didn't think so.
I don't. I move that we authorize General Manager Joe Mancino as the check signer on district bank accounts and remove interim General Manager Jim Watley as an authorized check signer on district bank accounts.
I second it.
All right, having a motion and a second. All those in favor of replacing Mr. Wadley as check signer, replacing him with Mr. Mancino, please indicate with an affirmative.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, so done. Moving on to step, item number 5. I'm gonna turn this over to general managers, interim or otherwise, to
So-
give us the background.
Yeah, thank you, Jared. So this one, I'm gonna do this item. So our administrative assistant, Emily King, was originally hired at step 1 and $32.19 an hour. She came with us with extensive background, 7 years as an executive manager, 20 years in management and human resources, 11 years as administrative, in administration, and then 6 years with Tehama County Clerk of the Board. Soon after she started, 3 members of the administrative team had resigned here, and Emily immediately stepped in to cover those critical functions in accounting, bookkeeping, and clerical operations, and all on top of her original role. She also helped train operations staff and temporary employees in our software and procedures. As she had started here and has continued that since. And her initiative, professionalism, and teamwork has been essential in keeping this district running smoothly. Given her qualifications and much higher workload that she's taken on, I'm recommending that Emily receive a salary step increase ahead of the 1-year anniversary. And this would move her from a $32.19 an hour to a $35.86 an hour. So this is an increase of about $3.67, and on an annual basis, fully burdened with all of the rates and everything, would be about $10,300. But for the prorated portion of the rest of this fiscal year, we're looking at $8,583. And this adjustment is basically our salaries and benefits has sufficient funds to cover this cost. And what I wanted to do is kind of cover, just as a reminder of our adopted budget, the salaries was 900 and
77.
or 995 is the total for the salaries. So that's an average monthly budgeted payroll of 82,917. And we are trending right now so July was 54,000, August was 57,000. So we're trending well below that. So we have sufficient funds, and that's related to unfilled positions at the time, plus my lower hourly rate, non-benefited. So there's a lot of cost savings. So there is no ask to increase any budget, is well within the sufficient funds of the salary. So one of the things that I wanted to point out is, it's one thing to do a job satisfactorily. It's another thing to do a job extremely well. And it's another thing to stand in gaps, especially when no one's asking you to do it. It's fully based on initiative. And I can tell you from, as an interim general manager, also, because I started 2 weeks after her, she has bailed me out so many times, I can't even tell you. But it has everything to do with, that initiative that, in my opinion, should be rewarded. And it basically shows how valuable she is to this district. And so I'm recommending that based on her experience, based on everything that she is doing to step up, to reward her with that extra recognition. And it kind of sets an example for others to follow. So it can show staff, look, you can get these steps ahead of time, and it just is, we want to show the staff we are looking, we do see you, and we do reward this kind of performance. So I'm recommending that we make that step increase, and I just want to turn that over to the board for discussion and action.
Sounds good. I'll start at this end this time. Any discussion?
I am all for it. I believe that she has done an amazing job of plugging holes and keeping everybody together.
Director Vickers, anything?
If, in case I misheard it, can you tell me, for the rest of the year, what was the impact you said?
So for the total budgeted for the year is 995,000. And so far, we are trending well below that with 57,000 a month instead of 82,000.
But I thought I thought you said for the rest.
The rest of the year, what the cost is?
Yeah.
So the cost is 8,583 for that increase, prorated, say, October 1st. So we've already.
But it's only for 3 months.
No, that's fiscal year all the way through
The
June
rest of the
30th.
fiscal year.
Oh, gosh,
Yeah,
dang.
that's
Okay. Okay.
So that includes the benefits then?
Okay,
Is that
yeah,
correct?
yeah.
Okay.
And, and I also failed to highlight that, so the general manager is directly over the bookkeeper, directly over the account clerk, and directly over the admin assistant. And, she has stepped into those gaps and trained everybody, and it takes a lot of pressure off the GM. And, doing so has really ensured the success of a lot of things that I'm working on. So I don't know if I made that clear, but definitely was standing in the gaps. And I don't even think I've ever asked her to do any of that stuff, and it was all on her own. So I just wanted to make sure I highlight that.
I can also say I've only been here a week and a half, but Emily's been tremendous help. She goes above and beyond, and she's doing a great job.
Distribution, she's everywhere.
Well, and the other thing is that she's handling a lot of our HR stuff,
Exactly.
which is not in her job description.
You're right.
She has the wealth of knowledge that has really bailed us out.
Policies.
I think it is. a
Risk
job
mitigation.
description.
There's been other risk mitigation.
Is human resources in the job description?
Not the confidential part, so it's the keeping the files and filing it and onboarding.
On board.
Any other comments?
When we.
Director Lincoln, any comments or discussion?
No, I think it's a great idea.
Director Johnson?
Not any opposition at all.
Anybody from the public have any comments they'd like to make? Robert, go ahead.
Is this someone stand up?
Yeah, if you would.
Are we talking about this lady?
Yes.
They have all the answers, he looks to me, he doesn't have the answer.
That's right.
Well, I mean, that's the answer.
All right.
You know, there's one more thing, I find, you know, very pleasing is whenever somebody walks up to the office here, she's like the first one that says, dibs on the customer, you know, she just, that type of energy and bringing that to the atmosphere is just infectious.
The chair's response is, I totally agree, but I always look at the fiscal impact to the customers. And as long as we can have a business case for it, I'm in favor of it. This is an action item, so I would entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to give Emily a step increase.
Actually, it's a 3-step increase, is it not?
So from step 1 to step 4, which is what there's only 4, it's $3.67 per hour.
I'll make the motion to do that.
All right.
I'll second the
All
motion.
right, we have a motion and a second to increase Emily, our admin assistant's pay to step 4, a $3.67 per hour increase. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Passed. Oh, effective date. It should have been in the motion.
Thank you.
26 is the new pay period.
Yep, we'll make it
Okay, can we amend the motion to make it to the next pay period, the 26th? Is that okay? All right, good. That keeps it clean.
Thank you.
Not a problem. Moving on to the drought plan and water shortage policy.
Okay, as we all know, our district's water supply is vulnerable to drought conditions. To ensure we continue to provide reliable service and also meet state requirements, staff has drafted a drought planning and water shortage policy for review tonight. The policy is designed to do 3 things. First, give us clear and enforceable framework for managing water storages. Second, make sure we align with California's water management plan requirements and drought emergency regulations. And third, protect the integrity of our system while applying restrictions fairly and consistently across our customers. The policy has a few key parts. Number 1, water shortage stages, a multi-stage framework that matches supply conditions and any state directives. Number 2, uses restrictions, conservation measures that escalate with each stage, such as outdoor irrigation limits or car washing restrictions. Number 3, enforcement, penalties for violations, including notices, fines, and in severe cases, possibly service restrictions. Number 4, administrative process, authority for the general manager to declare, adjust, or terminate drought stages at as conditions change. From a fiscal perspective, the biggest cost here is staff time, monitoring conditions, public outreach, and enforcing restrictions. Any fine revenue we collect would go back toward the offsetting those administrative costs. Recommendation is that the board approves this drought planning and water shortage policy. Oh, I'm sorry, and authorizes submission to states so we can stay compliant and adopt the related ordinance.
Very good. Director Lincoln, comments or questions?
No.
Johnson, you think this?
Of course.
All right, go ahead.
So page 19 of the drought thing. So this is when it's catastrophic, down at the very bottom. A lot of our residential customers only use 2 or 3 units of water a month.
Okay.
So they can't reduce 50%. So I don't know, do we need to have a number in there or?
Yeah, so the state is looking for they want numbers. They want numbers in there to be submitted. When things actually come to drought and you guys are gonna make decisions, we will be doing the official, we'll do public hearings. You guys will come up with the real numbers. Not to say we should just throw anything in here, I mean, but it's just not set in stone, it's gonna be fluid.
So in doing some of my research with stuff, this requires a public hearing. And we ran out of time for that.
So you have to
However,
bring it back.
well, no, because I think what they're suggesting is that this is not the hard numbers.
Correct.
And it's then we will
Then-
we'll have the public
Yeah.
hearing.
Yes.
Like
This is
we've
the
done in
guide.
the past.
Right.
This is
Right.
the guide, it's not affecting a change in customers by adopting
Right.
this. That's what it
A lot of
Okay.
things in this don't pertain to us. This is sort of a state boilerplate.
Correct.
Correct.
Okay,
Yeah.
and that's what we need to
Yes.
keep in mind.
Yep.
So if the public starts to read this and gets afraid, don't worry. Don't
It
worry.
will be a conversation before anything
Right.
happens.
And like Director Figure says, it'll be a public hearing so you fully understand what we're doing and you'll have a chance for input. Director Beaver, anything?
No.
Okay. Is this a action item?
It is.
Yes.
Okay, then I would entertain a motion.
I move that we accept the motion for the Clear Creek Community Service District Ordinance number 2025XX.
Do we know what the ordinance number is?
I have to fill it in, I don't know.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
and we should name the ordinance, the drought.
The
plan.
drought,
Does it not have a name?
2025 drought planning and water shortage policy.
Right here, ordinance number.
Very good.
Oh,
Have a
that's-
motion, do I have a second?
2025.
I'll second it.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second to approve the district drought planning and water shortage policy. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Moving on to number 7, dissolution of general manager recruitment ad hoc committee. We formed an ad hoc committee with Director Lincoln and I to recruit and set up interviews and whatnot for the general managers. And since we have one in place, we just want to, actually it says action, so I guess all those in favor of dissolving the general manager recruitment ad hoc committee. Can I have a motion, please?
I so move
Second?
to dissolution.
All in favor?
Aye.
So done. Make it easy. Number 8, ad hoc for the MOU negotiation. Go ahead.
All right. Okay, the district is preparing to enter into negotiations on the MOU with our employees, represented by Local 792. To support this process, the board may establish an ad hoc committee. The role of this committee would be to work with staff and legal counsel as needed, and to bring updates and recommendations back to the full board. There is no financial impact tied to creating the committee. So tonight, the request action is for the board to adopt a motion establishing an ad hoc committee for the MOU negotiations and to appoint 2 board members to serve on
Point of question, can community members serve on an ad hoc committee?
it. Yeah,
Not on this one.
Not on this one, no.
not on this one, but yeah,
we have others coming up, and that's just for future stuff.
yes.
All right, comments from anybody? Oh, Dr. Beaver,
Yes, we do.
go right ahead. I have some too,
We have a personnel committee.
but exactly.
And, and the personnel committee, I was remiss, I blew it, so last month I said I would be bringing it to, the full board to, regarding our responsibilities, so Dale has that now for next month. But in the past, the personnel committee was a committee that aids in contract negotiations, renewal between the district, and this is an old one, the CCEA. And then we had another one that said this, it just said, well, it's the same thing, a committee that aids in contract negotiations and renewals. So I don't know that if we're agreeable that it's part of the personnel committee, that would be Pam and I that would handle that. So, I'm not sure why that got put on the agenda.
If I could add, actually, it was my item, and it was only because of some of the discussions we were having with staff and the union that triggered the reminder, we need to have an official committee. So the motion could be from the board to appoint the personnel committee to do the negotiation on behalf of the board, but it should be an official motion so that it's effective.
Correct.
Okay.
Now, we also have to describe what the ad hoc committee is, a length of term and its function.
It's not an ad hoc. It
Or
is
not?
No,
Okay, fair enough, because I went off of what it was saying here as an ad hoc, so you
Yeah.
want to change that on this?
well, I'll read this to you, but this can change next month if you guys so desire. The Personnel Committee's primary duties includes participating, reviewing, updating, and/or assisting with the employee MOU, personnel policy, and manuals. The committee will also assist in developing employee job descriptions in line with the needs of the district. From time to time, the Personnel Committee may attend job interviews as observers unless participation is expressly requested by the GM. The committee will also develop and provide employee surveys. A main goal of the surveys will be to look into job retention and an incentive program. The committee's involvement is to help ensure the primary duties addresses the interest of both management and the employees effectively.
So while this says ad hoc, you can make a motion to correct, what the board wishes.
Very good. Okay, with that understanding, any comments from the public? This is sort of housekeeping for us. Then I will entertain a motion.
I move that the board transition the duties of the ad hoc committee for the purpose of negotiating the MOU to the CCCSD personnel committee.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second to use the personnel committee to negotiate on the MOU instead of forming an ad hoc committee. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Done. Excellent. So noting that that'll be added on to the personnel committee. Is there timeframes for that? Are we setting it? When is what is the timeframe for the MOU to be completed?
Do we have a time frame on that?
Do we know?
It should be prior to the 218, because it needs to inform the 218, so you
Right.
can work it backwards. You want to be able to put
I
those.
don't necessarily
personnel-
agree with that, that it should be before. Because we need to probably get the Prop 218 process to the public for a public hearing by September next year.
Yes.
And I thought the MOU ran longer.
Beginning of 2027, so negotiations
So, yeah.
should start
January,
at the end of.
We're 3 to 4 months. in
Ahead of
front
that, yeah. So you could work this in early and make it part of the 218, or it'd be another budget hearing.
Okay, and that'll be a discussion for another time.
And it would only be effective, so if you did it early, getting the best information available of what the next 3 or 5 years is gonna look like, it would only be effective when that next one is,
Okay,
and also keep in mind that it could also be, and the MOU discussions could be an extension of the existing one with some changes. So it doesn't have to wait till it terms out, it can actually be negotiated to continue.
well, we can start the process.
Yeah, and that's the recommended process,
Right.
is to start early.
It'll take 4 to 6 months. Okay, sounds good. Moving on to number 9, I see we have an application in the packet now for members of the community to serve on standing committees, which the Agriculture Committee does have 3 members of the committee and have served on it for a good year and a half now. Is it my understanding that, in reading through this, that anybody who is invited to join one of the standing committees as a public member has to renew the application every January?
Yes.
Because we did not do that with the Ag Committee this last year.
Yeah.
So,
According to the existing policy.
so why don't I turn the time over to you
Okay.
and let you give us the background?
Excellent. Thank you, Chair. Our district is committed to involving the community in how we operate, and one way we do that is through our standing committee. Lately, there's been growing community interest in participating, and the board needs to provide direction on how to move forward with adding public members. The policy for committee structure is already in place, but we need more clarity around the application process, term limits, and how selections are scheduled. The approach we're putting forward tonight will give community members the opportunity to apply with terms clearly defined. Here's what's proposed. Open the application process. We would publicize the opportunity so the whole community is aware and can apply. Number 2, set terms of service. Public members would serve through the end of each calendar year with new appointments made every January. Number 3, board review and selection. Once the application period closes, staff would bring the list of applicants to the board. The board would then select the public members for the committees. The next steps would be for the board to authorize staff to open the application period, promote it through our usual channels, and then return with applicants for your selection. Recommendation is that the board approves the opening of the public application process for standing committees.
Okay. For clarity, we had gone through this process probably a year and a half, 2 years ago.
Okay.
So I'm not sure that there's an action that needs to be taken. We can discuss it, but it had been something that we had approved. We now have a more formal application. Does anybody see anything different in this that I might be missing?
No, but we might just advertise in the flyer that goes out with the bills that this is open now for members of the public to get involved.
I don't know that we did something as official as this. So are you changing the general administrative policy where it says on page 2? It says,
No.
Okay, every January the board will call for applications from the community for committee membership.
Mm-hmm.
They shall select one or I guess more community members.
How would the
Yeah.
board like the applications to come to you? So like currently we have a potential applicant for one of the committees.
Correct.
Do I submit them at the next board meetings? What do I tell the customers that are interested? Because it's mid-year, so we need.
Since there are vacancies on the standing committees, I would say mid-year. I defer to the rest of the board as far as their thoughts on it, but as far as I'm concerned, if we have an interested party from the community who wants to serve and learn more about the district.
Do I submit it just to the members of the committee then, like if it's finance?
No, the full
the
board
entire
has to
board.
approve.
With the board meeting, correct?
At a normal board meeting, yes. Regular board meeting.
And then January, no matter if they're all full, everyone applies again.
Correct.
We have so many people that volunteer. I don't know why we have to go through a formal process of bringing them on board. It's just like, okay. Somebody's giving us
Well, part of it is we want to make sure that the individuals have the background to benefit the standing committee.
I'm gonna disagree with that.
Okay. You're welcome to.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody shows enough interest to fill out an application an interest to be on whatever committee it is, that's easy to work with. Yes, they may be behind the 8 ball for a little while, but at least they're coming in and wanting to see what we're doing and to help if they can and give a different perspective. So,
I understand.
yeah.
Did I hear something from down this direction?
I agree with
Okay,
everybody.
not a problem.
Yeah.
I'm fine with that. Are we still gonna do the interview process at the board meeting? Or are we just gonna go, well, you're interested, let's go? How do you wanna do this?
If I may, Chair, we don't really understand how many seats there would be available. So let's just say the board wants 1 seat and you have multiple applicants, then that process makes more sense.
Yeah.
But does this board want to have a limit to how many will want to be on?
That's a good question.
And so that, again, back to the process, it helps us kind of feel.
I agree.
Were we not already limited to 3?
I think it was 2 or 3, I think,
Yeah.
Per standing committee, because I believe we're maxed out on the act committee.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are.
Oh,
So
it does
maybe-
say 1 or more, well, it says 1 or more.
Yes. Well, we actually had 4 apply and 1 has not been available.
How about they shall select up to 3? So if you, would
Yeah, I
that
think
work?
that's
Would that terminology work for the?
Is it beneficial to have more than that?
Not
No.
really.
I don't think we've had the community interest at this point either.
Yeah.
Yeah. We're lucky
I
to
think-
get one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So up to 3, are we in agreement?
yeah.
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Up to 3, sounds good.
Actually corrects the typo.
Did you read that? That's
Yeah,
a
I did,
huge
yeah,
typo.
that actually corrects the typo.
I'm like, this is
Yeah.
shall select
Nice.
one or community member.
But also on the standing committees, we need to include personnel committee on there, because we had added that back in a couple
Okay.
months ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so it sounds like this needs a motion then. since
Wait,
we
was there
have
any
a-
other clarifications you needed?
I can't think of any, but now you,
Have you
Darn
all
it.
read the applications? Any changes, anything you want for discussion on it at all?
because I mean, I'm gonna go out there. I'm gonna get you guys some volunteers. So you just get ready. I
We
mean,
are.
Good.
I'm on this.
And it does specify in the district.
Yes, well, it should be there, they should live within the confines of the district.
That should be added.
Yeah, and it's not in there.
I move that we accept the policy with its 2 corrections of adding that they should be live within the districts of, who live within the water district, and also that we limit it to 3 members on the committee.
Do we have a second?
I will second that motion.
Having a motion and a second?
Can we stop for just a second?
We are on timeout. We most certainly can stop.
So did we answer the question that staff will review the submissions and present a list of qualified applicants to the board for selection? Are we going for that, or what did we decide? Just so it's clear in my head.
Well, the process had been actually an interview, so if what we had done in the past was accepted the applications at the board meeting, then had them come up and introduce themselves, and we asked a few questions.
Okay, so I would be, when I'm putting it in the packet, I'd also be contacting the individuals and asking them to come to a
Yeah,
board
meet
meeting.
and greet.
Is that
interview
agreeable?
At the board.
yeah,
Yes.
okay,
Okay.
okay. So, okay, thank you for that clarification.
So is that currently in there, or do we have to add that? to the
No, it
motion?
says, once the application period closes, staff will review the submissions and present a list of qualified applicants to the board for selection. The board will then choose the public member who will serve on the committees for the upcoming year. It doesn't say interview, or doesn't say come down
Do we want to adjust that or not? Do
That's
we want to
pretty-
actually ask them, I mean, meet them, or?
Think very long term, what if you really do have 5 people with
Right.
Prop 218 wanting to be on your finance committee?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah.
like the first 4 that fill it out, or do you actually want to know, do they have any finance experience? Did they move here last week?
Yeah. What do you know about the district? Are you available?
I think the interviews are good.
Yeah, I do
Yeah,
too.
so we don't have that in here, so,
Let's
just-
figure out an amendment.
maybe just say something like, applicant will be, invited to attend a meeting to, share their,
Qualifications and desires to serve the
yeah.
district.
Something nice and polite and wordy.
So
Okay, so
we
we
amended
need
it to add that they would submit their application and come to a meeting and share with the board their interests and qualifications to be on the committee.
so that's the motion.
I will still second.
And the
The
second
modified.
agrees. All right, having a motion and a second, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay, so that is the standing committee members. Now, are we going to address the one application we have right now?
We don't
3.
have it technically.
No, we don't have.
That's
technically.
advisory.
Right.
Okay, because I noticed in the packet there
The
was also
applications.
some for the community
Prop
advisory
218,
committee.
yes.
That's nice.
But I don't see that on the agenda either, so I can't really address it.
See, item number 10?
Number 10.
Oh, sorry, you're right. Okay, so we cannot address the one applicant for the
Correct.
But the
standing committee, but we
applications are
can
back.
for number 10. So we've done with 9, moving on to 10.
Thank you, Chair. At our August meeting, the board voted to solicit public interest to the formation of a Proposition 218 advisory committee. The intent was to see how much interest there is in the community and then bring the matter back to the board for discussion and possible action. Since then, we've issued a call for volunteers, and while we've had a lot of interest expressed, as of September 12th, we've only received 3 formal applications. The challenge is that the board previously indicated it would like broader representation on the committee. With only 3 applications in hand, the question is how best to proceed. Options include reviewing and appointing the current applicants while still keeping the process open, extending the deadline to allow more time and outreach, or deciding on a minimal number of members before appointments are made. Staff time is the only real cost associated with this process. So tonight, staff is asking the board to discuss the applications we've received and provide direction on whether to move forward with the 3 applicants, extend the application period, or take another approach.
All right. Discussion, starting down here.
Well, if these people are here, we would need to talk to them, see what their interest is. And since the 218 is gonna be such a big thing, maybe extend it 1 more month and see if we get anybody else that's interested. 'Cause it's gonna be a big one.
Because it just went into the billing thing, right?
It went into
Yeah,
billing,
it's not the formal
Facebook, and the
application that
website.
we have, this is an interest.
Yeah,
Oh,
because I know
okay.
in the August meeting, you guys were hoping for 5 to 7. And there was some doubt you guys could get 5 to 7. But in 1 month, we got 3, so.
Okay. Director Lincoln, comments?
We got 3.
I know.
That's more than we've gotten for
I don't know.
anything
I
else,
agree.
so. I'd hate to see one of these drop out just because
Fair enough.
we're extending it for somebody else.
But we can go on
We can
and,
add to it.
Yeah, if we can add to it, then
Yes.
that's great.
yes,
And now, this is gonna, is this gonna be called an ad hoc? Or is this gonna be called, something else? Because on the, if it's put underneath one of the standing committees, we've kind of been limiting to 3.
Okay.
So this is a little bit different, since we're forming a community advisory committee with probably 2 board members
Right.
serving on that also. So my only concern is what do we call this so that we don't already violate something we just said?
So ad hocs work with a specific thing of research and advising the board for a limited amount of time.
Correct.
Since Prop 218 is limited, even though it's longer term, but is limited, I would suggest an ad hoc committee.
However, because we're inviting public to be part of the committee,
Mhm.
Right.
we have to post that. Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yep,
Right.
they'll be.
Okay. So then a question for the board would be, we have 3 applicants. Do we accept those and discuss with them tonight? Do we need to use the formal application that was presented in the packet?
I think they should be invited to come next month and to tell us a little bit about themselves because that's what we voted on tonight, right?
We kind of did.
So one of the other things I wanted to share is I have Irwin's Clear Creek CSD Community Advisory Committee. So he had the Community Advisory Committee is an ad hoc committee tasked by the CCSD board to provide solicit feedback from our customer base. And that was all in regards to the Prop 218. So this was his, what he presented to the board. So I'll hand this to you so you can have it. But it just kind of, this says the CAC will be comprised of 3 community members, 1 office staff, and no more than 2 directors. So even then, that's how many were on the Prop 218 were 3. So.
Do we need an office staff for that?
Well, sure, because you're gonna want minutes to be taken,
But
or
I think we
recordings.
could direct our general, oh, yeah, you're right, minutes will have to be taken. Brown Act.
And board, just to be clear, you want our office to reach out to them or provide you with the information and a board member reaches out to the public?
As far as applicants for
You
it?
mean for like next week, you mean, I mean for the next meeting? So
Yeah.
Chad and Dennis, can you come prepared next meeting to, discuss your qualifications?
Do I say
Oh,
something?
and Cole is here too, or no?
Sure.
I'd like to say something, if that's all right. There's an opportunity for a certified public accountant, and I don't think she formally applied, Sarah.
No, she hasn't.
Yeah, and so, she's available currently, but as soon as,
Tax season.
the tax season starts, she's gone.
Yeah,
So,
we'll be in the weeds then.
so I would suggest, to get started, as soon as possible, we may do some work and then, kind of slow down and work it out. But, right at the start, we need, the basis to work on the rates. And a certified public accountant, and she used to be an auditor, and so she's good. In fact, she's the one that set the basis for the rates last time.
Good to know.
That's what the numbers that the committee started on was hers.
Okay.
And so I wouldn't want to keep stalling, and then she's gone. And
So do we want to stick with what the form you presented was with 3 community members? Or open it up to maybe a few more?
If we can get Sarah on there, that would be lovely.
Okay.
But, I think when we did it the last time for whatever, the Ag Committee, one of the people that wanted to be on it never showed.
Yeah.
They were invited to come and talk and then they never showed, so.
Oh, she showed up one time only.
Yeah, so that's possible. No, that wasn't that day. It
Yeah.
was somebody else that didn't come.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but, so, yeah, work on her, Dennis, and then I'll have my husband reach out to her, because she reached out to me and said she was interested, and then she didn't put in an application, so,
Is Cole Mallard here?
no.
Okay, that's the other applicant.
she said that from the first of the year, she'd be gone.
Yeah,
Yeah,
So she's got this time when she's.
a short window.
but with because what I feel is that even if it's a short window, that doesn't mean that she can't be getting some of the documents and looking at it at odd times or whatever, and then be able to, share what her findings are, because her eye is gonna pick up things that we're not even thinking about, so. Okay, yeah, work on her. So, I think what we put on the other thing was, we said up to 3, didn't we?
Yes.
For standing, correct?
For
That was
standing.
Oh, for
committee.
standing, not ad
Yeah,
hoc.
we do the ad hoc.
Or
So we have to
advisory.
define the purpose and the length of time, so
Okay,
if we're gonna form one. And then it's what board members should be on it. Okay, if we said just the finance committee, then we're kind of putting it under a standing committee.
I was hoping you and Terry would volunteer.
Well, I'm happy to do it. I don't know if Terry wants to do it or not. It's a lot of work.
Well, the Centerville has been a lot of work.
I agree
so-
with you, it has been.
Yay or nay, Terry?
I don't care, yeah, it's fine.
twist his arm.
I mean, you could say no, it's okay to say no.
No, as long as Dennis is gonna be on it, I'll do it.
Okay, so the purpose is to work with the community and come up with a rate study that can be presented to the public. And the length of time, what? Until the public hearing and approval?
Yes.
Yeah,
1 year.
I don't want to give a definite date because we don't have a date yet set for public hearing. We got to give a 45-day notice prior to the public hearing and all that, so. Does that sound reasonable?
It,
Okay. And that's not even a motion, so we have to bring this back next month
Well,
as a
why?
discussion, because it's really not on application, well, I don't know, application response.
Yeah.
Response is for, but it doesn't, there's nothing in here about forming an ad hoc committee.
It says an action, so we
Yeah, I
take
know.
the action.
I'm kind of reading it.
Well, I'm
more
reading
technical.
their memo,
Mhm.
the formation of a advisory committee.
All right,
Okay.
then I will entertain a motion.
Can we ask if there's any public?
We can. Anybody? Do you like it? You're not?
All right, so I am going to make a motion that we form a Proposition 218 advisory committee and approve Chair McVeigh and Director Lincoln to sit as the directors on the committee and have up to 4 community members, because we've got 3 applicants right now. Is that what we want to do?
We want 3, we want to limit it to 4?
Or up to, well, you don't want a whole gazillion,
No.
but up to 5?
Up to 5.
Up to
Okay,
5.
up to 5,
Can we
okay,
make it an ad hoc community advisory?
sure.
Okay.
Prop 218 ad hoc advisory committee. And to try to get, and they'll be requested to come next month to here.
Okay.
I don't know that Sarah can make it, but let's see if we can't get her.
So
Okay, was that good
Let's run
enough?
that motion back so everybody
Oh,
understands.
Yeah. Emily, can you read that motion back?
You should see my chicken scratch on this
Yeah.
All right, so motion to officially form an ad hoc committee approving Scott McVeigh and Terry Lincoln as the members, the board members to oversee it, with up to 5 board members,
Community members.
community members. I just wrote members right there. That will disband upon the approval of the Prop 218 stuff? No? When was it disbanding?
After the Prop 218 approval. or-
Approval,
or-
okay.
Public hearing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
public
public
hearing, that would be better, because, yeah, there's really no approval, really, either.
Everybody good with that?
Yeah.
All right, we have that motion. I'll need a second.
Second it.
Okay, having a motion and a second to form an ad hoc committee, advisory committee for working through the weeds of a Prop 218 process. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. Excellent. Number 11, Mr. General Manager.
Okay, I'll take the first part, and then the rest will be Mr. Mancini.
Your swan song?
Yeah, this is my last meeting, and so I just wanted to mention to everybody, as my time here concludes, that I want to provide assurance to the district that the district is well positioned for this transition, and the things have stabilized quite a bit since we started. We had a lot of turnover, we had a lot of things to do, a lot of things to bring forward to this board, and so those things are stabilized. The essential services are that we provide are delivered reliably. Staff has continued their strong commitment to the district's mission, and since Dale's come on, I've taken steps to brief him on everything that I could remember from Paul, when Paul transitioned out. So I had, provided the notes from that time period as well as the 5 months that I've been interim. And, talking about the ongoing project priorities and, some upcoming decisions and some of the, just the overall planning. So this transition it marks a positive step moving forward. And I know that this district is going to continue to operate effectively under Dale's leadership. And so I just wanted to say thank you for everybody supporting me in these 5 months. And, please extend the same treatment to Dale as you gave to me, which really was really kind. So thank you for that. And I appreciate this board giving me this opportunity to serve this district. I've learned quite a bit. And I can tell you, I'm taking a lot of information that I've learned and I'm going to apply it to the grant services that I'm going to be reinstated to do coming October 1st. So thank you for that, and I look forward to continuing my services with this district.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim.
Jim, before you start.
Okay.
Would the board like to extend an appreciation, a thank you or something formally to our interim general manager? Not just an applause, but a heartfelt thank you. We appreciate your efforts.
Yep, we do.
All right. Now it's on the record.
And now I turn over to Dale.
Excellent. Thank you, Jim. I'm going to start with the legal service update. So we've been working on securing new legal counsel for the district. Staff reached out to several firms, reviewing proposals, and 3 interviews. 3 interviews have been completed. Staff will return to the board with recommendations. The goal is to secure legal representation with strong experience in water district operations, including the Brown Act, compliance, labor and employment law, and water regulations. That's the update I have for legal. And then, so I just wanted to say, as I begin in the role as the general manager, my first focus has been connecting with the staff and learning the workflows of the district. Over the past week and a half, I've had one-on-one conversations with both operations and administrative staff to understand the responsibilities, challenges, and opportunities. I want to thank everyone for the professionalism and openness they've shown during this transition. Operation familiarization. On Wednesday, I conducted a full tour of the water treatment plant to better understand the treatment processes, capacity, and maintenance needs. I also reviewed the district's pressure zones, which gave me valuable context on how pressures are managed throughout the service area and where potential vulnerabilities may exist. Administrative and internal review. I've started reviewing compliance reporting schedules, administrative workflows, and budget processes. While it's too early to recommend changes, I'm noting areas where better coordination, documentation, and communication could benefit the district in the long run. As far as the next steps, in the coming weeks, I'll continue meeting with the staff individually and in groups, expand our outreach to PACE engineering, regulatory agencies, and regional partners, and conduct more field reviews of our distribution and storage assets. I also plan to begin outreach with community stakeholders to build relationships early in my tenure. Finally, I'll be focusing on succession planning, role clarity, and strengthening organizational alignment. In closing, I want to express my gratitude for the opportunity to serve as your general manager. My commitment is to provide steady leadership, open communication, and build a strong foundation for the district's long-term stability and success.
You're still up.
Turn. Oh, okay.
Moving on to number 12.
Operations report.
Yes.
All right. As of this month, we have 249 accounts that are over 121 days delinquent, totaling about $81,000. There are 156 accounts in the 90 to 120 day range totaling 7,600. 226 accounts in the 60 to 90 day range totaling 14,500. And 414 accounts in the 30 to 60 day range totaling just over 34,000. Looking at the trends compared to last month, we see mixed results. In the oldest category, 121 days, the number of delinquent accounts went up slightly, but the total balances actually went down. That suggests that some of the larger balances have been resolved, leaving mostly smaller accounts outstanding. In the 90 to 120 day range, both the number of accounts and balances jumped, which tells us more accounts are stalling at this stage with higher unpaid amounts. The 60 to 90 day group had fewer accounts but slightly higher balances, and the 30 to 60 day group had fewer accounts overall but larger dollar amounts. The takeaway is that the delinquencies are starting to concentrate into fewer but higher balance accounts. We'll need to keep monitoring them closely to prevent these from aging further. Water treatment plant operations.
Can we hold off
sure.
before we move on? Any questions or comments on the delinquent accounts? Are we doing any shut-off notices on some of these folks?
Yes, correct. So we did 15 liens were filed last month. 2 have already came in to pay off their account completely, which is pretty huge because they're very large numbers. This month we issued 46 shut-offs. Wow. We physically had to go out and shut off 10 because we do 48-hour door hangers, to be honest. We had to shut off 10 and 3 of them have called to pay. So 7 are currently shut off without payment. Delinquent notices are going out consistently. So, but this month it went.
I understand it's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted the board and the community to hear what you guys are doing with it.
Yeah.
I also appreciate the snapshot view of increases versus on the numbers versus the dollar amounts. Something we hadn't had in the past.
On the delinquent accounts, when are you sending out notices?
Delinquent accounts are, so the bills are due the 20th, so the first week of the month we send out delinquent notices.
So we are doing them if they're 30 days old?
Yes, we're sending those out. We're not doing shut-offs till after 60.
Okay,
as
so
policy.
there's some manual that we have to change. Because it specifically says we're not doing that anymore. They voted on that in I don't know what year it was. But it says in one of our manuals that we no longer are sending out delinquent notices.
At all?
Correct.
Can we change that then?
Yeah.
Bring that back next month.
Let's make sure.
So
we're
it's
right.
Make a note.
Okay,
I'll see
let's-
you next month.
Please do.
I will find out what, I was reading so
Must
much
be
this
our
weekend, so
Okay.
find,
I wonder if that was COVID related.
no, what year was it? What they said was costing, they did a cost analysis and it said they were sending these out and it was costing over $3,000 because they had their own machine here that was doing the work and the labor and all of that. And that it would save about $3,000 a month not to send out these notices.
But they were justifying not doing any shut-offs or anything.
Correct.
And we were meanwhile racking up $150,000, $180,000 uncollected. And I did the math for the board and they went, oh.
Yeah.
That's when we brought in a part-time account clerk to focus on that and get it cleaned up. Okay.
Well, I want to say that's wonderful compared to
Yes.
what we started.
Yes.
We were
That's
in the
good
hundreds
progress.
of thousands of dollars. So, they were just, well, they can't pay, so keep the rocks alive.
Yes, I think there was a general feeling of, well, they won't shut me off. So it's like 6-7 months, people just won't pay their bills here.
Surprise. Thank you. Go ahead now, Dan.
All right, on to water treatment plant operations. In August, the water treatment plant produced 681 acre-feet of surface water. Of that, the district used 461 acre-feet. About 309 for municipal and industrial use and 152 for agriculture. For the water year so far, that puts us at 1,872 acre-feet total. No groundwater was pumped this month. The plant is currently producing 7 million gallons per day. The Bureau of Reclamation has started increasing Clear Creek's flows from 100 cubic feet per second up to 150. Staff has been busy with routine maintenance and operations. They performed a shutdown to replace a fiber optic line and conduit, which impacted Centerville for several hours.
Good.
The filter to waste pond was cleaned for the second time this year. Work continues on pond number 2, where contractors have poured 240 cubic yards of concrete and completed half of the floor. A group of our new hires toured the treatment plant. We also had equipment issues. An auto cleaning module and turbidimeter failed and have been sent back to the manufacturer for service. The generator was serviced and is running well, with about 426 hours on it. During the heavy rains and lightning storm on September 10th, we lost power briefly, but the generator started and carried the load without any problems.
Excellent. On that, in the past, we have had the pleasure of being shared photos of the progress. I haven't seen any in a while. Is it possible that we could get some photos, maybe
We have
put
some.
on the
We just
website?
got some.
We just got some, based on the recent.
Excellent. I'd like the community and the board to be able to see that.
Put it on
And
Facebook
we've
as well.
posted the first stage, but now they've done their second port, so we can
Okay.
put that in.
So we're gonna update those pictures.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
If I can. So
Yeah, go ahead.
while we have Shireen here, I didn't see it in the agenda. I wanted her to take credit. I wanted to recognize her for some of the work that she's done. So just as a recap on the car fire, we had a grant specifically for that. We also had an insurance claim. There was a little bit of, I'm not sure how things were at the time, but, we had some double dipping, if you will, and we had to kind of back some of that stuff out. Nevertheless, we were facing about $250,000 of having to pay that back to the JPIA. And so we had $177,000 in our account just for that. That essentially it would have been unspent, so it was just being returned. And so we would have, this fiscal year, had to find another $80,000 in order to, fulfill what the JPIA was saying is due back to them. However, Shireen has actually done an incredible job, detective work, I should say, to find invoices that this district did pay and used according to the insurance claim. And so that is actually going to save us a lot of money. So if you can just kind of summarize what you found, I think you deserve recognition for it.
Well, thank you. Go back, I can give you actual figures. What I did was I took everything that we applied to FEMA and used, and I took everything that we had, plus JPIA, our insurance company, sent us what they had. So I took that, compared everything, pulled all of the invoices, and that total that is still, that I have applied to JPIA is $159,000.
Yay.
So
We're
that
short.
gives us about $19,000 left over in that account, that car fire account.
So no extra money is required.
So it's almost finished now. They've already went over all of the invoices because I copied all the invoices and submitted everything. So now they've gone over all of the invoices. They just have a few final little questions like, is this gonna be it? Are there gonna be any more invoices or any more work done? That was the final question, so.
If I could ask a question, first board, any member comments?
Well, I just am curious about the 19,000 though, then we're obligated to pay 19,000
No,
back?
that's what we have left.
That's a
in
savings.
the account.
A
So the
savings.
money that's sitting there, 19,000 can go to reserves.
We get to keep
Yeah.
19 of the 177.
Yep.
And don't owe them the 80,
So the 177's in the car fire account we have
right?
right now.
Okay, I'm confused. But we get that whole 177,000.
It's in an account.
It's,
Yeah.
it's in an account that was intended to go back to JPIA as unused funds.
But we used
So
them,
we-
so
No.
isn't,
This was extra beyond
Yeah,
what the insurance settlement was.
But we did find 150 something thousand that we did spend and can be applied towards that.
That wasn't submitted to the insurance company. So it was 159,000.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm still confused, but I'll discuss it later, because you guys apparently aren't understanding what I'm trying to say.
I'm sorry.
My question was, in that process, did we look at admin and staff time used for
Well, I
that?
have payroll, I found payroll from that period, so I submitted that payroll, and they seem to have okayed that. That's it.
Okay, so that was addressed also, good, because that can be overlooked a lot of times.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good job,
Thank you.
very good.
All right, on to distribution. We had 2 major leaks this month that required emergency response.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My apologies. The first was a rupture of a 10-inch AC main. It involved 2 valves, a hydrant, and 4 service line connections at a depth at about 8 feet. Because it happened over a holiday, we had problems getting parts, and rentals weren't readily available. We brought in Axter Construction to assist us in these leaks. That break affected about 130 customers for 2 days, with 4 more customers affected for 3 days. The second incident was another 10-inch AC main break near Oak Street, affecting 176 customers. Again, we used Axter. Axter assisted us, and we redirected resources from the Happy Valley project. Thanks to that teamwork and emergency rental, we restored services in less than 24 hours. Afterwards, staff spent time power washing, restoring yards, and engaging directly with customers to make sure they were satisfied. We're now looking at equipment rental options from Sunbelt, including the possibility of having an excavator on site long term. That would cut down costs and reduce our reliance on emergency rentals during nights, weekends, or holidays. PG&E has also started tree cutting projects in our area and provided us with mapping data. We've marked our mains in advance, and we're working with A1 Trees on quotes for both routine and emergency removals. We're also exploring training and equipment options so our own crews can safely handle tree removal when needed. Finally, all monthly water samples came back clear. During the Happy Valley leak, we did issue a boil notice, but all follow-up tests returned absent, and the notice was lifted in coordination with the State Water Board.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Good job.
Thank you. Thank you.
Moving on to number 13.
Real quick, on the boil notice.
Yeah.
There was a lot of attention specifically around the boil notice and confusion around it on social media, on the local pages. And we're doing a great job on the social media side trying to address that. But just want to reiterate to the public, if you're not getting notices for boil notices, for breakages, for outages, please contact the office and make sure that your contact information is current, that we have an email on file for you and are able to get in contact with you with those notifications, because they are sending them out. Sometimes they're just not getting to the intended target. So please make sure you have that on file, and we will do our best to inform you.
Questions on the previous issue?
Sure.
Our cabins were pound 18071 on Linda Road, and we're new to the community for this period of time. I have a question, what's the connection between tree removal and your water lines? Aren't they below ground?
So the trees themselves put weight on the water mains and their older lines. So
So you have to remove the whole tree then?
right.
Okay.
But not the roots particularly.
Yes.
Okay.
It just puts so much weight on that it'll shift the lines and it could cause breaks.
Great, thank you.
Chad, did you have something?
So, yeah, I did see the confusion on Facebook about like the notices and whatnot. For some reason, don't know, like, if the emails are going out through CSI or what, but like, a couple of them didn't get till the next day, that people already had. I don't know.
So, okay, so there's two different systems. If you go onto our website, it says sign up for alerts. You are signing up for website alerts.
Yes.
If we have your current cell phone and email and you mark the box that we can use it, you will get CUSI alerts. After hours and during the weekends, unless it's a catastrophic event, it will only be website and Facebook updates at that time. So staff is not being paid to come in, that is non-essential to the actual break.
True, right. But
So that's why they're different days.
no, like people would have it and then post on Facebook, like, this is the email I just got. Well, I wouldn't get that email until a day or two later.
Exactly, so you're gonna get it, some people get the email off the website if they signed up, some get CUSI if they signed up. If you signed up for both, you'll get them both times. So they're both emails and and the text on the website after hours only goes out in extreme events because you can't tell, oh, I only want flowers to get this. And if you ever got one, it comes up alert in red. And I don't want to cause mass panic because 4 houses are shut down on fuzzy. So text messages after hours, weekends only go out for large breaks. And again, we get calls daily. I didn't get it. I go on the website and I'm like, can I sign you up? I'm already signed up. Can I try? I'm already signed up. I click sign up. They were never signed up. Or I go into our online CUSI account. We only have a landline. Well, we can't text your landline. So we've been working for the last 3 months sending out, please contact us with your updated information. And if you don't want emails and text messages, that's fine. We try to actually physically call people if we only have landline. But you have to understand if that's all you're providing us, that's last priority. And with our time, because a lot goes on and breaks and we're a staff of 2, So I'm asking customers to, do their due diligence and we'll work with them.
Any other questions or comments? No? Then we'll move to item 13, standing committee reports, and we'll start with the Ag Committee.
Yeah, we haven't gotten an announcement out yet through the district, but we're really hoping and planning to do a Ag Committee meeting next Thursday at 6 o'clock here in the meeting.
Thursday or Wednesday? Sorry.
I don't know, it's the 24th.
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday, okay. Wednesday the 24th is when I had in my head Thursday. Anyway, apologies, I have my dates wrong. It is the same day as Rosh Hashanah.
Oh,
apparently. Yeah.
There you go.
So we'll be meeting next Wednesday.
You provided the refreshments?
Yeah, refreshments and curriculum.
Non-refreshments.
So next Wednesday, 6 o'clock, we'll be having an Ag Committee meeting. Topic of discussion is disking and seeding, pasture, both irrigated and non-irrigated. I will be leading the discussion and we hope to see you here. It's getting to be that time of year. October, November is about the perfect time in the Happy Valley area to disc and seed for your spring growth. So please join us. In other agriculture committee news, the farmers market is still operational every second and fourth Saturday. So I believe our next market is the 27th.
Correct.
Yep. So next market is the 27th from 7 to 11 a.m. 8. I always say 7. Anyway, every time I say 7 o'clock, 8 to 11, folks.
There's only 3 more markets this year.
Yep.
Okay.
Located next to Bonnie's Burgers, across from Happy Valley Little League and Elementary School, and we hope to see you there.
If I can add one other thing to it, olive crop this year is going to be almost non-existent. I checked my trees 2 days ago, and what olives I have are starting to change color, so I harvested my 9 trees near my homes, and I got a whole 1.5 gallons of olives off of those that were usable, instead of about 80 pounds. So it's going to be a poor market. Yes, Dennis?
Scott, some of the ag, landowners, probably will not take water in their orchards.
Correct.
Because of that same thing.
Right. But if you have olive trees, check them. It's a little bit early. Usually it was about 2 weeks later that we'd start harvesting olives. So I was really surprised.
They're picking down in Corning though.
Yeah. Okay, Finance Committee.
So we haven't met because we were waiting on a lot of the data that had just been provided to us. And so we are gonna analyze a lot of the things that were in this packet. So next Wednesday at 9 a.m., we will have a Finance Standing Committee here. And then we will go over what was the right word? We'll be going through the monthly activity reports and end of year.
Are we gonna also cover the budget for last fiscal year?
Didn't I just say that?
Oh, we did.
Okay, I don't know, I may not have said it correctly, but yes.
Let me clean my ear.
I meant to say that.
Anything else?
Nope.
Nope, okay. Director Lincoln.
Nothing to
Finance Director.
report on planning and steering.
All right, personnel.
Beverly and I made, some of our tasks. We were trying to do, Jim had done the survey with the staff, and we wanted to meet with them, but, we were told by the union we can't do that. So we can't. We just have to take what information we glean from what's on the report. We also have begun to work on job descriptions that we will use in the MOU contract negotiations. We want to look at pay comparables. We're working on retention and employee recognition. The other things that we want to do is have kind of a better heads up on leave, so that not everybody, takes leave at the same time, or they can do planning around having the right staff at the right time. And one of the things that Jim has brought up that we're going to do is begin cross-training, so that if somebody is out on paternity leave or something, that we have somebody to fill in.
Well, that will be our recommendation to the board and to staff.
Yeah.
All right, very good. And the minutes from your meeting, you had a personal today, did you?
Yes.
No, we had Centerville.
Oh, you had
We had
Centerville,
Centerville,
okay.
yeah.
Any of the meetings that we've had, those minutes will be in next month's board packet. Anything else on the standing committees? Any questions about standing committees?
Well, we did want to talk about Centerville just a little bit.
All right,
So-
that's an ad hoc, go ahead.
Oh, well,
It's not there on the agenda.
I know you asked for it to be put on there last month.
I did, yeah.
That's my fault.
Could you note that, please?
We just had a really good meeting earlier today at 4 in delving into the contract and the payments on some of the issues. And so we're really kind of getting in there. I'm going back and reviewing our last 5 years worth of audits to see if we really have to wait until we have an audit done before we can actually do a true up. And so that's one of the things that we're looking at also, but it was
So we provide water for Centerville and they pay us.
Sometimes.
We don't think enough. But the water treatment plant keeps track of numbers, and then Shireen bills them. And we are up for a new contract, and we've done some real deep diving. Actually, Beverly has, because she loves to read old things. I think they're going to be surprised, but we're going to have come in and do a good contract and have maybe some increase in money, I hope.
Sounds good. A question, I apologize if I'm wrong, but are we putting the minutes from ad hoc, since they were, if they're being done in the Brown Act, into the packet for the following month. I don't remember seeing from the last ad hoc that you guys had on Centerville that there were minutes put into the packet as far as what was discussed and whatnot.
So let me clarify that just a little bit, because I found something that said in an ad hoc, if you added staff, that you then had to follow the Brown Act
Sure.
requirements. However, thank you, Jim, he was able to find something else that indicated that that's true if staff is actually on the ad hoc committee. So because it's not, that's why we were able to meet today, because we hadn't put a notice in the,
Right.
on the website. So therefore, minutes don't have to be taken.
All right, very good.
Now, your ad hoc advisory, because you will have community members on that, you will have to take minutes.
Yep, I
Okay.
agree.
All right.
I just wanted to clarify that. And I was also looking for, maybe just done this way, as reports to the board as to what took place during the ad hoc,
Right,
as an update. Okay,
yeah.
as long as we're making sure the board is aware of everything. Okay, let's move on to 14, board member items. Director Lincoln, anything?
No.
Director Johnson?
Fire hydrant on Hope Gate.
I got an update on that.
Thank you, Dale.
So I'm sending a crew out there tomorrow, actually. We're gonna pothole it. We're gonna double check the length of the depth, because we have the parts here. I went and physically looked at them and everything. I don't know the depth yet, so we're gonna have them pothole it. If we can use what we have here, then I'm just gonna have them install it right away. Otherwise, we have to order it, and for the cost, for a 5 foot is $3,750. It has to come as one unit because of the stem. It's custom. I'm hoping we don't have to do that. And from what I'm being told, the setup we have now would be a little too high, but I won't know until I physically see it and I get the exact depth, see if we can adjust some things and get what we have in there so we don't have extra cost. But if we have to go with a smaller unit, that's the cost. So that'll be done tomorrow.
Okay.
Are they gonna put a valve in too?
Isolation valve?
Isolation valve?
It has one because it's shut off. This is what I gathered. There's a shut off valve for it now. I heard, I think you're referring to maybe another valve for the main, which is a 12-inch. But in order to do that, you'd have to shut the whole line down, and it'd be a lot more money.
Yeah, I don't think I was aware that there was an isolation valve on that. I thought that the.
But
original
that's
stuff was
one of the
issue
things
was
that
it
they've
was
talked
not
about,
actually-
is what we need to start putting Chad's cuts on that.
Sure.
The problem is it's a 4-inch isolation valve.
For that line.
You can't put a hydrant on a 4-inch.
So what was it connected to before?
Right now it's connected to a 4-inch.
Oh, so they pushed it
It has to
down?
be upgraded then.
Okay. Well, if that's the case, then it'd have to be shut down and put a 6-inch.
Right.
Yeah, because for state requirements, you have to have a 6-inch feeding a 6-inch hydrant. So if it is a 4-inch, then it'll require a shutdown, and then you'd have to replace the valve with a 6-inch.
Because one of the things that we have been talking about doing for a while is that putting in some shut-off valves, so that when that blows that on Olinda, what happens is everybody loses it, rather than shutting different areas off,
Absolutely.
because we don't have that availability to do that now.
Yeah, and that's a great point, and I think that's a wise decision. The only problem is the cost of the new valves and putting them in. So if we have the budget and whatnot, then yeah, I'm all for it. But as of right now, I'm just trying to get the hydrant working, because it's been out for so long. That's more news to me as far as the 4-inch valve, so I'll have to reassess it.
Yeah.
But relatively easy fix.
How much are some of these, though? A 12-inch would be 25,000? Some of these are up to like 35.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because plus you figure the labor and all that shut down. So it's in excess of
Gotta
20.
start doing it.
Absolutely. And I think when I spoke about the pressure zones earlier, I think that's something that it will help with a lot of these breaks. Because I think when it was engineered in 1960, they didn't anticipate the degradation of the AC pipe with a higher PSI. So as they degrade, you have to lower the rating on the pipe. Hence why we have such big blowouts.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of putting a pressure reducing station in, or a couple of them. That would probably be better money spent versus putting in the isolation valve, because you can do the isolation valves, but it won't prevent the breaks. The pressure reducing station would prevent the breaks from happening and prolong the life of the existing infrastructure.
Well, actually, the pressure reducing valves would be great because a lot of us have, every 3 or 4 years, we end up putting new pressure reducing valves in the house.
Yeah.
Right.
Hers was $850, mine was $700 last time, so.
Yeah, and that's from what I've gathered, with how old the system is, when the engineers put it in, they did, like I said, they didn't account for the degradation of the AC pipe to what it is now. It should be derated with the PSI that's going through there. That's why when you see the breaks, it's just like, it's like a bomb went off because the AC can't handle it anymore. So.
Sounds good. Director Fickus, anything?
I want to defer to Pam first, and then I'm going to
Okay.
follow up with mine.
Director Beaver, go ahead.
Yes, I'd ask, we need to have something for the policy of putting something on the agenda, because I asked for something to be put on the agenda and I was shot down. And this is the second time it's happened to me. And to be honest with you, I wanted it on the agenda for a reason and didn't get there. So we need a policy for how to put something on the agenda. And because if we go by what we used to do, or we have done previously, is we call, it's up to the general manager or the chairman of the board, or whoever makes the agenda. Well, our general manager makes the agenda, so they should be putting it on the agenda. And that's why I called and asked, and I was shot down.
So when I heard that, very disappointed with what happened, because that if that was you,
It was.
that's wrong.
Okay.
So when Paul did that to me last April, you guys know how irate I was. If you have a board member that asks for something to be put on the agenda, who is anybody to say no to that request? Because we have to sit here as a board and discuss it. If you have a certain opinion that you don't want it there because of this or that, let the whole board decide, not one individual to decide that. So,
I'll explain myself when you're ready.
go right ahead.
Okay.
Well, this happened when we had the Happy Valley Committee, when we were fighting against the excessive high rates. And at that time, Beverly found out that anybody can put something on the agenda by going to the person who writes the agenda.
Except the board chair reviews the agenda and works with the general manager. Okay, so the agenda should be coming to the chair first for review, in case there's other things. Typically, board members are supposed to contact the board chair with items I'm speaking, please, so that that can be discussed, and then they work with the general manager on the language to that. I understand you're upset with it, but I also mentioned at the time that if the member of the board wanted to, that they had the board member items where they can bring up pretty much anything. Okay? If it didn't require a discussion and action, then the board member item on the agenda was the appropriate place for it.
No, it wasn't. The appropriate place was on the agenda. I asked for it because it's something we discussed, because last month, previous to last month, we had another break in which we had our guys working long, hard hours. Some of them were like 20 hours. And the fact is that this was to have a method or a way to supplement their help at very little cost to the district. And we talked about it. It was brought to our attention. And so that's why I wanted it on the agenda. And so it was important to me
I understand. I have had that conversation with Jim and Dale, along with Morgan, because I also saw when doing payroll, the excessive amount of time that one particular individual, and I've asked them to come up with a plan to prevent that from happening again.
That's all water under the bridge now. We have to have a procedure that the person who writes the agenda is able to take what we want to be put on the agenda. It does not always have to go through chairman of the board.
Yeah, so we need a protocol for the agenda. Who can do it? What if a customer requests it? If a customer requests it and you shoot it down, what does that do to our community that they can't bring something forward that they want to discuss on the agenda? So you having that authority is just totally wrong. So what I would like to see put on the agenda, one of the things that I found when I was researching is that the entire board could make recommendations of what would go on the agenda. That's a little cumbersome. So we need to have a protocol. So I'm asking that be put on the agenda for next time so that we can discuss how we want to move forward, and it be put into one of the administrative policy book, that it's a policy on how we're going to handle customer requests and board requests, and who has the final, I don't even know who has the final say. If we as a board can't put something on the agenda, let's say we have a mean general manager that we're having a dispute with, and he says, I'm not putting it on the agenda. Well, there has to be a way of overriding that it's not done. So I would ask that we develop a protocol and put it on the agenda for next month, that we develop that, or have if staff can kind of put some kind of wording on there, because we have to be able to have either the board request items or community members. Both of those have got to be on it. And so because we've had problems in the past, this time I had issues when Paul did it, it's obvious that we need to correct that. But it's so disrespectful.
That wasn't the intent.
I don't care if it was not the intent. It is so disrespectful if a fellow board member has requested something to be put on there, and you, without discussing it with that person, just flat out says no. That's so disrespectful. And so that really gets my blood pressure up. So there are a couple of things that I found, but we'll discuss that next time about the protocol.
Comment, Caitlin.
I have to agree with Beverly. I do feel like it's kind of disregarding that to not have the board member put something on the agenda or request for something to go on the agenda, being that it's discretionary. There's lots of things that go on the agenda that are just discretionary things that have no actions, have no any kind of consequences, so to speak, afterwards. The other side of it is, if a board member wants to put another item onto the agenda, there should be one at a deadline date, and maybe have it go to all of the board members and be like, hey, this is my concern, this is something I want to put on the agenda, can I get a yay or nay? And just all 5 of you guys vote on it and then make a decision.
Yeah, you can't do that.
No.
Well, I say as like a group email between, not as a board member sort of thing, but just being like, this is something that needs to be discussed. I want it on the agenda.
So typically how it works with Brown Act meetings is during board member items, you would bring something you want to be on the next agenda and the board votes at that time.
Correct.
So if you are having trouble with someone shooting you down, you have 4 other people that right now you could bring up and get on the
Which is what I was
next
trying to
meeting
do, was have you.
without
bring it
one
forward
single
at
person
this
saying
time.
yes or no.
so that we could agree to put it on the agenda.
And that is a Brown Act policy, so I can put that in the policy you're requesting be drawn up as well.
So no intent to be disrespectful, just trying to follow the proper procedures. And I know you're upset, but I was just trying to do it right, so that.
Is there currently a policy, may I ask, that I can refer to
For
about
that?
putting it on?
No.
Because the Brown Act doesn't say it
The
has to
Brown
go
Act
through
does
chair.
not say it
Yeah.
anywhere. You Google it and try to.
So that's just previous practice.
Past practice.
Not an
When we were
actual.
having an issue with the district way back in 2020, 2021, I called and said, how does the community get an item on the agenda? You just have to notify us in writing Wednesday prior to the packet being prepared on Friday. So that's the premise, is that the community has been able to do.
Yes, the public.
And it
usually does.
should, and that same favor should be with a board member.
Correct.
So, do you want your item on the agenda?
I want the item on the agenda.
What's the item so I can write it down?
But if we want to have the board vote on it, can we do that at this point? Where do you put that on the agenda? If
So,
we come and say, hey, I want that on the agenda.
so you would say, this is my issue, this is what I would like on the agenda next month. And then you explain it, and then the board will vote to allow that to go on the agenda.
So-
What if something comes up in the middle of the month?
Oh, she can ask also. I'm just saying it's kind of a workaround if a mean general manager shoots someone down.
Well, yeah.
Then she can bring it
Or
to
I mean.
where it's a whole.
Well, we're getting rid
He's
of
new,
that.
so. Yeah, I'm sorry, let me point farther. That one. Yeah, so it's kind of your backup. And it also gives the public a time while you're discussing it to give you input. And
So
so
should
you
that,
can do both.
should that be a standing thing, on the agenda for, board items perhaps to be brought up or something?
So that's what board items
Board
covers
items.
under,
Yeah.
under the Brown Act currently.
Okay,
Yeah, so you can ask for whatever you want, and as long as you get majority,
okay.
it goes on the.
Absolutely.
So I am asking that the protocol for the agenda and who can do it, and that staff prepare that for the next meeting in October.
All in favor?
Aye.
We're good?
No,
Okay.
Pam wants to.
So
No.
5.
I said aye.
Yeah, but you want to do your item.
I thought
Do you
we
want,
just
do
did
you
that.
want to, no, but that was the protocol item.
Oh,
Do you want your staffing issue thing?
Yes, I would like to put on, October, agenda, the supplemental staffing for
Seasonal worker.
seasonal worker,
Do you want just, discussion on yours?
yes.
Okay,
Just discussion item, okay.
okay.
so I would like action on my discussion.
So we have a request to have a discussion on the next board meeting about putting or hiring on seasonal workers. All in favor of having that discussion on the agenda next board meeting?
Aye.
Sounds good. Anybody else, any other board members? I have one board member, I'd just like an update on the water survey dashboard. I know we had to bring some people in to make the corrections on, so that's.
So I'll give an update on that. So Dale and I met with the local representative here with Division of Drinking Water, the supervisor actually. And so what he explained to us is that while he's with Division of Drinking Water, he doesn't control the safer dashboard. And one of the things that he brought up, which was very interesting, and I'll see what I can do to find out about the statistics on this, but he said in his 28 years that he has been here in Reading, at the same exact office, he has not seen one project completed with safer dollars. So he suggested we use alternative funding methods, probably USDA, which will have a match. So nevertheless, what I would like to do is still press the safer folks, because what that will do for us is get us the eligibility for tuition, technical assistance grants. So while it may not fund a pipeline or a zone, it could fund like an RCAC Prop 218 study, because right now, according to that dashboard, we are not eligible for that. So that is still something I'm gonna press regardless, so that we can have, a pressurization study. That's an eligible thing that we can get a TA grant for. So the process on that is now we're gonna lean on that. He offered to supplement a little nudge to bring some visibility too. So that's what we learned.
Very good. Anything from the public before we close the meeting?
I just, what's this agenda item, what's the safer, can you elaborate?
Yeah, so it's like has a lot to do with affordability. I forget the whole acronym, but it's occasionally we'll have a project that's needed that we want to get funded. So you usually start with a study, then you do some environmental, then a design, and then construction. So there's always a sequence to things. I know we want to get right to the project sometimes, but sometimes there's a sequence needed. So we have a few things that we are looking at right now, and one of the things that we need to do is get a capital outlay plan, because with this Prop 218 study, which is a rate study that you do every 5 years, is to have, what do we want to do capital project wise the first year, second year, so we can identify, we need to do a pressurization study. We need to do well number 1, which has been down for some time. And so you just kind of put those projects, on this plan. It informs let's say RCAC is selected to do the Prop 218. What they'll do is they'll help come up with how are we going to pay for that. Now, if we have a project fee of $1.50, we'll do that for a period of time, then it drops off, so it'll be a project specific type of thing. But nevertheless, the SAFER is, again, I don't know the acronym off the top of my head right now, but it's one source of funding that we could get some things done. And generally, construction projects haven't used that funding.
So what you're aiming at is a more expedited process of getting results moving.
Yeah, and so a lot of these things, the TA grants, the technical assistant grants, they're 100% free. So a pressurization study may cost, let's say, $75,000. That would be $75,000 this district wouldn't have to, put money towards. Right. So, it's a lot of those little things that can affect change. Yeah. We could get funded 100%.
Thank you.
No, the other aspect is this dashboard lists criteria for whether you're eligible or not for those grants. And currently, a prior manager listed us as in accessibility, a low risk, affordability, no risk at all, yet our median
Arrears.
Yeah, and our median income, we're a disadvantaged district, so we don't have a median income of over 73,000 annually per household. We're around 35,000, so we need to get these things, these metrics moved corrected so that we then qualify for the grants to do the work we need to get done.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions or comments?
I just, with the ag, what's your connection with actually the water district? The advisory, the ag advisory?
So,
We're on 40 acres and we came in, we're not declared as ag, but I'm looking to explore developing the property. And I'm thinking how we potentially long term would start to interact with the district.
yeah,
Are you part of that? It's a voluntary standing committee, right?
it is a standing committee of the CCCSD. So myself and Chair McVeigh are the two.
So are you just giving advice on already established property that's under ag?
No, not at all. I mean, it could be, for example, I'm very interested in disking, reseeding, replanting my own pastures.
So if we have 40 acres, like it's all digger pine and oak, and we want to start doing something with it. Do we work through you or straight?
You could absolutely come and join us and start attending meetings. Okay. We're trying to, and historically in the last year, have tried to address topics that directly impact what we feel Happy Valley agriculture
You're the first person to start working. We want to come next meeting, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, a great person to talk to about clearing land and prepping it is sitting right in front of you there, Mr. Robert Wharton. Or Dennis for that one, right?
Yeah, some pine trees were, hey, I had them jerked out
Right.
with a backhoe.
Because I've been down in manual labor cutting these trees.
Are you the property on Olinda that have been?
Yeah, 18071. We just cut out of LA.
But
We
that's,
used to live up here, and my son fell in love with the other property we were renting on, and he's the one that managed to get us the property. So yeah, 1804. You see it's a mess out front with all the trees down.
oh, but it's, yeah.
I made a promise,
Yeah.
every tree I cut, I plant, so it's trying to get, I can't even, it takes me hours to dig one hole to plant a tree, and I don't dare use that Adobe brick. So we got a post hole digger, went along digging holes, and then I dig by hand with water and everything, it's labor, so my
It looks nice.
son got me an old Kubota. My
There
son
you
got me
go.
an old Kubota.
Push the trees over.
I can't do that.
Not those big pines.
Not the big
Yeah.
ones, no.
So anyway, but I made a promise, I'm not gonna cut a tree without planting, but then we were trying to get the stumps out, and YouTube talks about burning, and the fire department's down there.
No,
Can't do that.
The roots.
So anyway, we really are looking to be part of the community and work with the community, so.
Wonderful.
When is the ad meeting?
Your name
Yeah, next Wednesday, 6 o'clock.
Your name was?
Rocky Ward,
Mark?
All right, we did this start to go. It's a real different thing, but it's good. I couldn't believe how ugly that was across the street.
Right.
It's really beautiful. Yeah, it's a work in progress. In case you haven't noticed, I'm an old man.
Right. Great.
All right, Andy, you can help me just attend that next. Appreciate
Yes, sir. Looking forward to it. Thank you very much.
Great, thank you.
Okay, I
Yes,
want to thank all of you for coming in. It's good to see community here. It is now 7:56 and the meeting is adjourned.
What? How'd I do?